My name is Harold, and this piece is called A Rant About Tolerance. That's a purposely ironical name. My goal here is to come up with a little conceptual toolkit to think about tolerance rather than have it be just a big shapeless idea. So tolerance and intolerance sound like they're binary, but they're not. It's a continuum. So how to figure out where I am or where a given behavior is on the continuum. It's not a new problem. The golden rule is all about that. It says, do unto others as you would have them do unto you. So, what gets us away from that, since it's such a simple thing? Every school kid understands it. The New York Times reported on some research where people inflict a small amount of discomfort on a fellow subject. The experimenter knows how much force is used, but the sender and the receiver do not. In those experiments, people consistently underestimated how much force they applied to the other person and overestimated the force that person was applying to them. Both people reported that they were inflicting less pain on the other person than that person was inflicting on them. That's a big cognitive problem. It tends to make cycles of retaliation and revenge continue and makes them very hard to damp down. So a buddy who used to bag groceries with me in high school had a clever way to describe how both people in a dispute tend to feel virtuous about their position in the dispute. He said, "It all started when he hit me back." It all started when he hit me back. That idea works against the golden rule. Then we have what I'll call the I believe problem. That is, something I believe is more important than my connections and obligations to my fellow human beings. In the extreme case, you have ideological absolutes. Something I believe that you don't believe means that you have to die at my hands. That's my obligation as a true believer, and that's my entitlement. The world is seeing a lot of that right now, and it sets up a very tough dilemma at the intolerant end of the spectrum. How do you deal with intolerance without doing something that looks like more intolerance? Cycles of retaliation sometimes become war. The American poet Walt Whitman said something about the grief of war. My enemy is dead. A man as divine as myself is dead. The golden rule versus the idea that it all got started when he hit me back. The I believe problem, cycles of retaliation. I'd like to offer the idea that if mankind is going to go down a drain, the label on that drain is going to be true believerism. Pick your favorite flavor. You can think of assimilation as mankind's last and toughest challenge. A friend described trying to explain the troubled history of race relations in America to his young daughter. He told her, people used to believe that one group was better than the other based on their skin color. He was gratified when he heard her next question. She asked, which one did they think was better?
Lord, ye that without sin, Lord, cast the first stone. Ye that without sin, oh, cast the first stone. Ye that without sin, cast the first stone. Cast the first stone if you done no wrong.